extremely blessed to be on your show today, King. Been watching what you do, man. And first off, I didn't really look into it heavy until you asked, and I'm truly honored, brother. I love what you're doing with the culture. I love what you're doing with the people, and most importantly, I love your story of survival. That's the
Absolutely.
most. It's a powerful, uplifting story, and I thank God for you still being here, brother, doing what you're doing.
And look, I appreciate you. You're the first guest to come on the show and start out the gate with that, man. So I really want to say I appreciate you for expressing that, because that's a big deal. A lot of people don't
Absolutely.
understand. People go through things, we overcome them. That's the
Yeah.
point. We go through things in life, but we don't stay there. We don't stay stuck in that moment. We move forward. We
Hmm.
put one foot in front of the other foot and we keep moving. We make that progress.
Yes, sir.
Um, and that's why I had you on the show right here, man. I think your story is amazing, and what you're doing is very unique. You're motivating other people, and that's what this show is all about,
Yes,
you
sir.
know. And after listening, I actually heard you plenty of times, man, because I'm always constantly listening to motivational videos and things like that. Just it's medicine for the mind. You know what I'm saying? It's how you grow. You stay positive. You start to you kind of floating through life on a different timeline. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So your I was about to say your music, your motivational speeches are very influential. Okay, and so a lot of people that may not know who you are, I feel like they have at least have heard you if they are into that kind of thing. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like being the guy behind the camera. Sometimes you may not always be on the front street, but
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, I've seen you before. Now I'm connecting the dots. You
Yeah.
know,
And it's so beautiful, King, because it's what God is doing, bro. It's like it ain't me, it ain't about me. It
right?
never will be about me. And a lot of people consider me like an underground king in motivation. I'm an underground guy. I'm growing. I'm building my name. But at the end of the day, for the past 8 to 9 years, I inspired over 800 million plus people.
Right.
And like I said, probably about 3 weeks ago, we had a preliminary interview with the Ellen Show. So God is working on some big
Absolutely.
things, man. Some amazing things, man. Some amazing things. So I think everything just happens on timing, man. And I like the way I'm coming. I don't want
Yeah,
you to know my face. Just hear my voice. Listen to the message before you see the man. It's
man,
okay.
and it's so much power in words. So much power in words. And that's why it's important for people to understand that hey, you can actually pray on your own downfall by the things that you say out of your mouth. Oh,
Absolutely.
I'm weak. Oh, I'm not strong enough. Oh, I can't do that. You're actually speaking against yourself. If you ever want to
100%.
get yourself to the point where you're able to do that, you have to speak those things into existence.
Yes,
You
sir.
know what I'm saying? You have to start off with mine, and then it manifests.
Yes,
It
sir.
starts with you at the end of the day,
Hmm.
and I think that's important because a lot of people seem to forget that. I don't even play with those words. I don't like the word I can't. I don't
Yes,
play
sir.
with those words. That's
Yes,
not the
sir.
kind of energy or vibe that I want to have. You get what
Yes,
I'm
sir.
saying?
Yes, sir.
Every everything can be achieved. You have to see it first, and then you have to believe it. A
Man,
lot of people they skip that.
and I tell you, I literally just flew back in probably about no less than 14 hours ago. And I was in Kingston, Jamaica. I was awarded the Ambassador of Peace Award. I want to show the people the award that I
Congrats.
brought back from Kingston, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Ambassador of Peace in one of the most dangerous cities in the world. And I happen to be one of the voices that inspire them daily in the trenches. And they showed me that love. And I had an opportunity to sleep in the hood, in the projects of the no-go zone.
Right.
The big dog had a beautiful cottage type built home in the
Hmm.
middle of the ghetto. Is one of the most beautiful handcrafted places I've ever seen in my life. And I just wanted to stay there for a few nights because with our people, ladies and gentlemen, especially our people of Kingston, Jamaica, they truly respect when you respect them.
Hmm.
And I feel like it's a real disconnect amongst our people when it comes to levels of wealth, who we think we are, what we think we are. And what I learned most importantly in Kingston is that You should never want to be greater than your brother. You should always want your brother to live on the same frequency as you, if he's willing to put in that work. I'm not saying you give a man anything, but I feel like for men to come from the same blocks, the same struggles, the same slums, and to have a mentality of, I'm going to make it out, my nigga, I don't care what you doing. You got to do that on your own. And you got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, it's sheep and it's shepherds. Everybody is not meant to lead, ladies and gentlemen. And some people are meant to be led. It's leaders out here. And your people are waiting on you to lead them. When you learn something, when you grow mentally, when you learn about this thing called life and how to maintain and how to live, you should want to give that to your brother. You should want what you want for yourself, for your brothers and sisters. And like I said, motivation is beautiful. But when you start learning about people like Paul Bogle that led Revolutionary Wars, queens like Nadia the Maroons, Marcus Garvey, you start learning about this stuff and you start realizing that our ancestors, ladies and gentlemen, I took a trip on Paul Bogle's on the site in St. Thomas where the British came in and killed 347 blacks, children, mothers, grandmothers, and they buried them in the same hole. I had an opportunity to stand above that hole, above that ground where all 347 of my people fought for their liberation. I had a chance to stand on top of those grounds, and I felt the energy. And what a man told me out there, ladies and gentlemen, they said, when you celebrate your ancestors will start to protect you. They will start to help you, propel you, and help you miss roadblocks that's coming ahead. And when I say, ladies and gentlemen, I thought it was crazy. I was like, what is this? What do you mean? But when I walked off that plot, I gained a new knowledge and a new understanding about life. I know that half of the world is battling with a mental condition. They're battling with a mental condition. It's either an identity condition or faking who you are, identity. But what I tell people is the only way that you can get to your final destination is if you set your current destination. You see, when we get in the car, we set our GPS, you got to first set your current destination to get to your final destination. And what we're doing in this generation, in this era right now, we're skipping. Yeah. We're skipping the current situation, and we're on the internet pretending to be rich, pretending to be famous, and every night we lay down, we want to blow our brains out because we're lying to ourselves. The worst thing a human being can do on this earth, ladies and gentlemen, is to lie to yourself. It's better to know the truth. It's better to go the harder way. I tell everybody, if you grind it, go the harder way.
And you know the hard thing about lying, when it comes to yourself specifically speaking, you create this picture, right? And then you start to see that you don't fit in it. But yet you got all these people that's walking in this museum and they looking at all this galleries of art and they looking at yours. And there's just something off about your picture. It don't fit in the frame. But you created this image, right? So now you have to uphold it. You have to keep this. So now you have to become somebody that you're not. But you have to do it every day. It's very tiresome to be somebody else. It's easy to be yourself, but it's hard to be somebody that you're not. And a lot of people, they got it twisted. You think by flexing on the gram and flexing for all these people that now people are going to look at me a certain way, but really they can see clear as day that picture don't fit in the frame. So what is you doing right now? You looking crazy, but in your mind, you think you got it all together, right?
Yes.
So when the lights turns off and people leave the museum, you sitting there, the other pictures on the frame looking at you like you crazy as I don't know what. If you think they believe that,
100%.
You ain't fooling nobody but yourself.
100%, bro.
And what happens when you do that? It's so hard to look in the mirror. It's so hard, and I think that's the main issue a lot of people have nowadays. They don't feel comfortable looking in the mirror. Because you see, when you look in the mirror, there's nobody else there but what you see. You see,
Yes.
in our mind, we can sometimes, man, I'm a 220 pounds solid with nothing but muscle. You
Yeah.
feel me? 0% fat. I'm Superman. But when you look at that mirror, sometimes you can't lie.
Yeah.
You look at that mirror, you like, hold on, wait a minute. I know what I feel like. Why is this showing me a different picture?
No, no, King, you 100% right. And what I'm looking at this generation right now, King, everybody seems like it's a lot of people that seems like they hate the skin that they're in.
Right.
When you look at the BB, what's the BBW? I forget, what's it
Mm-hmm.
called? The
Big,
BBL,
beautiful
the
women.
BBL. When
Oh,
they getting their bodies done,
yeah, I got
back
you.
over and over. When you look at all these people who literally hate themselves, it's like we're celebrating human beings hating themselves.
Right.
And then when they get the body done and they get all that stuff done, they realize, Black Queen, that it never was your body, it was your essence of your soul. If
Mm-hmm.
you're ugly before you get the surgery, on the inside, you're going to be ugly after.
Right.
So a lot of you
And
guys are getting surgery on the wrong thing. A lot of you
mm-hmm.
guys need surgery on your soul.
Right.
You need surgery on your soul because a woman, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, a woman is the most powerful being that walks the earth. I was listening to a philosopher, and I can't tell you his name because I don't want to butcher it. But when he was talking about the beginning of time, he was talking about how God created the woman and how the woman was the picture to create life. You see, God created life, and then we watch the real world and we watch the woman create life. So if anything is the closest thing to God, it is the woman. So when we look at the women, okay, right now we in the world right now, okay, this is going on. Women were so mistreated for years and years and years and years. And now, what's they call it? The hot girls have decided, they have decided to give the fellas payback for all the pain. And what you're witnessing right now, ladies and gentlemen, is the men are not ready to take that. They were not ever ready to take that, being cheated on, being played. And that's when you see all these crazy cases of men abusing women because they can't, it's really a child that's being attacked on the inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
So now, fellas, now that we know the pain of being mistreated, hurt, broken, misled, and our time wasted, we must now understand that we did that to women for many years. That is God giving us our turn to understand that, yo, you gonna get it too.
Right.
You gotta understand, ladies and gentlemen, that when we tear down our woman has the power to tear down us. But they have so much love because they so close to God. They got so much power of God that they can forgive you. You know, think about it. A woman can lay in the bed with you knowing you cheated on her and still give you a kiss and still tell you I love you.
That's
But
deep.
if a man knows that a woman cheated on him, you're not going to hear the last stuff. You're
It's a
not going
double
to sleep.
standard. It's a
You're
double
not
standard.
going to sleep.
I tell
So,
people all the time it's a double standard.
absolutely.
It is. We can't, you can dish it, you can't take it. You know,
Absolutely.
when it comes to that, you know, a lot of times people like, if it's two women or if it's two men, you know, it's a big difference there, right? For guys that's into that kind of thing. But
Absolutely.
it's a double standard. You get what I'm saying? The guys can't take that. You know, we're overprotective. We don't have that mother nature instinct.
Mm-hmm.
You know, mother nature itself is a big deal.
Yes,
Think
sir.
about it. The weather, we call it mother nature. It ain't called male nature. You don't hear nobody calling a hurricane or earthquake male nature. It's called mother nature.
Absolutely.
That goes to back up what you were saying about the
And
powerfulness of a woman.
I just saw a comment, a brother said something like you justifying their behavior. No, my brother, I'm making you stand in your responsibility. I'm making you stand in the shit that you created.
Right.
Because if you feel like those type of men, those type of men who think they can run women and think they can put their hands on women, I tell you, I can tell a type of behavior of a man by his conversation when I speak about a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Every time a man says something about a woman, every man that steps up to fight and combat is the same man that will hit, punch, and fight a woman. That's a weak man. You see, I like to step on men of that nature. I don't like those type of men. My mother was an abused woman. My aunties were abused women. And when I look at kings, I can look at you from a mile away and understand that you don't have respect for the woman.
Yeah.
Because if you have respect for the woman, anytime a man speaks up for him, you're raising up signs to celebrate with them, not going against them.
Mm-hmm.
The woman, and specifically, it's proven that the black woman is the most unprotected woman in the world. She's been on, beat on, spit on, kicked, punched, stumped on. Every single day. She's celebrated for being what they say, HOE, or a stripper, or a prostitute. All you see on the internet right now is prostitutes advertising.
Mm-hmm.
They cover it up as a model. I made history in Milan for Philip Plein in Italy. I know what a model looked like.
Mm-hmm.
No offense. But let me tell you something. Every day you on the internet selling your soul, and you're selling it for dollars, King. Why are people selling out for dollars?
You got to know your worth. That's what it comes down to.
King, it's worse than ever.
Yeah.
You can buy any. It's like everything's for sale. Everything should not be for sale.
But let me tap into what you're saying here. I feel like social media has played a huge role in the curve and the patterns that we see nowadays.
Absolutely.
There's something about likes, comments, shares that has a huge influence on what people think is worthy or what people think has value. There's so many people that, let me tell you, here's something crazy. Not to get off sidetrack, but there are people that follow me on the gram.
Mm-hmm.
And I could walk in the mall and I would see them and it's a, hey, how you doing? They keep it moving, right?
Yeah.
And then they would get on a post and comment their heart out.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. Because it's like, I just saw you in person, right?
Look. You know the thing about the introvert?
What's that?
Oh, okay. Introvert, like most people, like some people like to stay to themselves. Like I had to learn this. I just asked Mr. Brown, Les Brown, my mentor, and he was like, "Yo, Will," he's like, "Will, sometimes you got different type of listeners and supporters. Some supporters just want to listen and comment from a distance.
Right.
Some supporters, that's where it comes to the audience base. The audience base, you got to learn your audience base. Okay, which ones, if I did a live show, gonna come in the show? Those are the ones that's interacting, coming up to you, shaking your hand. And which one's gonna be the listeners and the watchers of your show? You get what I'm saying? So we got the
dangerous ones.
We got the television watchers and we got the in-seat watchers. You get what I'm saying? So once you break that up, they still on the show. They still helping rep up the views, but you got to know which ones want to be really close and which ones want to just observe your greatness. You feel what I'm saying? Some people feel like that, and I had that so crazy you said that, because I was asking Mr. Brown, like, why is it like this? Like, they love me, they write all this stuff, and like, no, man, some people just want to look back and observe your greatness. They appreciate you, they love you, but they don't want to be that close on you. You feel what I'm saying? They just
absolutely.
They just want to. You feel me? They love you for your amazing show. That's what I love the King for. He keep his show going, and those are the people who shared it to everybody.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
But let me tell you something on the flip side of that coin. Let's talk about haters, right?
Well,
sometimes,
you
you ever hear the saying, haters motivate me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, check this out. Sometimes haters will be your biggest supporter because they will watch your every move. They will clock it. You drop a
Dog,
post, they there. Guess who's sharing? Guess
I'm
who's
glad.
sharing? Those haters. They sending it to everybody. They saying, look at this person here. Look at this guy. Look at this person, right?
Let me
They
tell
don't
you
even
something.
realize they supporting.
Let me tell you something. I'm a professional when it comes to the haters. I got so many.
Right.
And when I tell you this, let me tell you what they hate the most. An individual will have more money than you, more success than you, more everything than you. But when you become that blessed soldier of God, King, and you rise up without a dollar,
right,
without no team, without no marketing, a social network team, or no major videographers, they hate you. Because they paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to get what God gave to me for free.
Yeah.
And what happens when I'm going to tell you something about a hater, ladies and gentlemen. And these going to be your closest friends and family.
Talk about
what
it.
happens, ladies and gentlemen, is we grow up in the slums and we both start off at the bottom. We come from the trenches, we have nothing, but we both got dreams to make it. But then one rises like the phoenix from the slums because he puts his focus into his dream. He put his heart into his dream. He put his soul into his dream, and then that man rises. And then that same king that was at the bottom with you, that was watching you grow, he can't take to see the light shine on you. He can't take it because he came from the same place you came from, and he just can't breathe the fact that you came from out this dumpster right with him.
Right.
And just because you made it, he'll rather burn everything instead of letting you go make a way for the whole clique.
Absolutely.
That's the Willie Lynch syndrome. Another black man can watch another black man come from the same struggle and help the enemy kill him.
Mm-hmm.
They will help the enemy kill him. That's why when God said, don't give your pearls to swine, I stopped giving my pearls to swine. You got to understand that we got roaches out here.
Right.
You got people that'll eat and take anything, stab anybody in the back to get ahead.
Won't think twice.
Around you, telling you how much they love you, how much they admire your style, your speaking, and the whole time they praying on your downfall. And most of these people are older individuals that didn't conquer their dreams, so they want to make sure you don't conquer yours. Mm. But what I realized, ladies and gentlemen, that the only way to be successful is just you to trust in God entirely. I don't trust no man. I trust God. You're all walking around trusting men and women, and they're going to let you down every time. I'm going to tell you what my grandfather told me, and I'm going to let my man speak. My granddad said, this is going to keep you safe from the snakes in the grass. He said, well, it was 95% fake individuals in this world and only 5% real. What's your chances of finding that 5%? It's like a needle in a haystack. So you're fake to proven innocent. So when you live by this rule, ladies and gentlemen, you won't get angry when somebody stab you in the back or hurt you. You don't get angry. I knew you was that 95%. Come on. I knew it. So I'm not mad at you because you snaked me, you did something. I knew you was that. It's like watching a child. I knew you was going to do that. Mm-hmm. But when you bless, ladies and gentlemen, we don't stress, man.
You know, I think that's important what you said. And here's something just to kind of support that even more. When people show you their true colors, don't expect them to act differently. Everybody can change, but some people are going to come out the gate saying, this is who I am. I lie, I cheat, I steal, I gossip. Don't expect that person to treat you any different. We got a lot of times, if somebody's coming to you and out the blue, you don't even know this person, and they already talking bad about somebody else, don't get comfortable. That ain't the one. Because you will be the two. And they're going to talk about you as well.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times people show you who they are. You know, we being trusting, we being the nice people we claim to be,
Yeah.
we open our arms to everybody until we get hurt. And that's what happens. That's why people have trust issues. Because they didn't start off this way. A lot of times you get these different experiences in your life and it changes you. You meet that particular person or individual, and that experience changed the way you feel about people.
Mm-hmm.
And we try our best to not be prejudiced. You know, we try our best to not look at a person and be like, you just like everybody else. But sometimes you see the same clues.
Right. Right.
And that mindset, it ain't changed because it ain't forgot about that experience. So now you're looking at the clues. You see the sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's not wisdom, it's stupidity to see the signs and ignore it. Get what I'm saying? You see the person walking around here and they got the same thing going on, the same sign. They walk in carrying themselves the same way. I'm not saying you're supposed to cut that person off and just say they're no good. What I am saying is pay attention.
Look,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna go even further. I'm gonna tell you, sometimes you do have to cut certain things off. You see, ladies and gentlemen, y'all, a lot of us believe that we have forever to live, but the truth is, we only have a moment. And when you have individuals that's not aligned with your future, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes God is literally the reason why some people have never accomplished their dreams and they sitting at home right now 50, 60 years old. It's because they didn't cut off something that God told them to cut off. You see, if we spend more time listening to our conscience is the closest thing to God. When that thing is speaking, you gotta believe it. It's like they used to play in football. They're like, King, I play linebacker. They said, King, if you see that guy, believe it. See it, believe it, and hit it.
Right.
See it, believe it, and hit the hole, King.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I believe, I smack somebody in their mouth.
Woo.
The truth will always come to the light, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to consciousness. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you got to understand how many people. I want you to count right now in your hand. How many people truly, you know, in your life, you can write on a piece of paper that you can say undoubtedly, without a doubt, wants you to succeed. Do you got 5 solid people that you can write down and say, this person will believe in me probably more than I believe in myself? Now, if you do not have these type of friends, if you don't have 5 of these type of friends, you don't have any friends.
Facts.
Understand that?
And you just made me think about something when you was doing that, when you made that analogy as a linebacker and you seeing a hole, don't hesitate to go through it. Here's the thing. A lot of time people forget that we're living this life and like we never know when we're gonna die. That's the first thing. Life isn't, tomorrow isn't promised. But there are certain things that if you don't make that move when God is telling you to make that move and you hesitate, you're gonna miss your window of opportunity.
Yes, you will.
It's gonna pass you. And just like playing football, once the whistle blows, the play is dead, it's over.
Yes, it is.
But in the middle of that play, you saw the hole open. You knew it was your assignment to go through there. What happens when you hesitate?
Oh, they scoring on you, baby.
They scoring. Or you might get hit with the fullback. You know what I'm saying? He might come run you right over. And then you're going to have to rely on somebody else to try and make a play. But your opportunity was there.
So we used to swim that real quick. Get up past that real quick.
But the key is sometimes when you hesitate, you lose that opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Don't lose your opportunity to be great because you're doubting yourself. And another thing is don't let other people put their fears on you because people do that on a daily basis. People look at you and be like, oh, you'll never make it in the NBA because they wanted to play in the NBA and didn't make it. So if I can't make it, you think you better than me?
You see, you said something there. See, me, I can appreciate a hater that's out.
Haters motivate.
He say what he is, but you know what type of hater I hate? Them little low key haters.
Oh, I want you to show who you are.
Yeah, the little low key, they always got a little smart little joke to go with everything you're doing, or they say something funny all the time. Them the ones right there. Them the ones right there to put you out your misery, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Them the ones.
They dangerous. The thing about knives. People that use knives, what's so dangerous about them? Sometimes you got to be let in the kitchen first to get it. And when someone allows you to get that close to them to stab you in their back, that means to some degree they trusted you. They allow you to get that close where they was able to put their guard down and actually trust that you meant well for them, that you had their best interests at heart. And when people show you their true colors, sometimes if you let them in too close, you just never know. And the key here is to stay prayed up, because sometimes you ain't gonna see everything when it attacks you.
Yeah.
A lot of times the smart enemy, he's gonna plan. He's gonna get where you least expect it. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So the ones that's really trying to tear you down, they the hardest ones to notice. So don't beat yourself up if they catch you slipping. You just gotta be prepared to get back on your feet and do it the right way. You get what I'm saying?
100%. And for this generation, I call this generation the generation of carbon copies. And what I say is, it's like a copy and paste generation. It's like everybody's the same. Everybody's talking about the same thing. And I think we probably got a record of rappers in the United States ever. We probably got 1 billion rap. I don't know how many rappers we have, but we have a lot of them. And I tell all my brothers, let me tell you how our people is becoming. We're not moving ahead. We're moving backwards. So right now, on every major Black podcast, we are celebrating individuals that talk about murdering, killing, distributing dope, drugs in our communities, killing our people. Right. But it seems as if, and I want to give a major shout out to you, it seems as if that it's a major shortage of Black major publications putting real young visionaries in front of audiences to save their life. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you sold 1 million records. If your job is to wake up every day and create destruction music for my people, because music is a spell, ladies and gentlemen. And everything those children hear, a spell is being put over them. Let me tell you something about Kingston, Jamaica. Before Kingston, Jamaica became a terrible, terrible place when it comes to crime, murder, and all of these things, which is not as worse as people say, and no different than the city that you stay in. It was music made out of love. Bob Marley, the Wailers, all these amazing people. But then they had the vibe cartels and all these guys come talk about killing. I don't get you, I kill your mama. I kill your daddy. I kill this. And now we got a generation of demons that their whole purpose is to wake up every single day. The devil is signing contracts every day, ladies and gentlemen. He's closing deals every day, and these individuals are saying, I will lead my people to destruction for $1 million signing bonus. For $300,000, $400,000, I'm gonna lead my people to destruction. And I hear our people right now got a mentality that's like, hey, if I ain't getting it, I'm not thinking about nobody else. Look at the scammers who's killing our whole existence. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we got guys waking up every single day, going to the banks, taking their nieces and their nephews to get fake accounts, blowing their accounts out of the water. They got $10,000 debt before they even go to college. So how do you think the Black family and the Black community is supposed to get a home without a bank?
Right.
Now everything is going digital. How are you supposed to pay for something without a bank? And then we got the rappers just pushing it in. We are killing ourselves. Black people, listen to me. This is the example. gun to head. Cock the
Yep.
trigger first. We're
This is
killing ourselves, and we're expecting a human being to save us. But I gotta tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. You want to know my secret? How I came out the shelter? How I became one of the biggest speakers in the world? I gave my life to God and only God. I made God my manager. I made God my PR. I made God my father. I made God my mother. I made God my life. And now there's no man that can stop William King Hollis. I'm 32 years old.
come on.
I'm 32 years old. And every time I get to the mountaintop, I'm going to scream to the devil, God did it. And if you don't
Absolutely.
believe in God, I'm going to show you my blessings and you show me yours.
Come on.
I bet I run circles around you, fam.
That's deep.
Show
That's
me yours
deep.
and I'll show you mine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the schools and all these organizations want to take God out of everything. The moment you take God out of everything, you take your soul out your body. Ladies and gentlemen, you got nothing. You're just waiting to die.
That's so deep, man. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people have to remember influence is everything. And if there is no God in that equation, you left with nothing but negative. If you take all the positivity out, you're left with negativity. Correct? If you take
That's right.
everything that is positive about your life, around everything about you, the morals that people have, if you strip people of all of those, you're only left with negative vibes. That's all they have to go off of.
Man,
So
King,
go ahead.
I want to tell you something. And I want to do this for your podcast. I want to tell you something, dog. It was a moment 8 years ago when I was sitting in my Taurus, ready to literally blow my brains out, and God just put this on my spirit. And I thought life could never get better. I thought I was worthless. I thought I meant nothing to the world. And it's people out there right now that's watching your show, that watch your show every week, that truly feel like they're worthless and they mean nothing. And I'm going to tell you now, the only time you become nothing is when you become it in your mind. If you're poor, broke, sleeping on a homeboy couch, you're still rich. You have to activate the thing that God put in you. And that's the conviction to be the greatest version of yourself, ladies and gentlemen. If you got a dream and you want to be something in this world, you're going to have to go into the depths of the fire, the belly of the beast, and have to bleed a while just to see a break of sunlight to the dream. I gave my life 10 years of this. 10 years. 5 of them years was homeless. Taking my crumbs, going into the studio, creating messages, because those messages I was speaking to myself. So it's somebody that's looking for somebody to save them, and the person to save them is inside you.
Come on. That's deep.
Michael Jackson had a song, and he said, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. Ladies and gentlemen, it is you versus you and no other souls.
That's
We got
deep.
a game of life. Each game is our own game. We spend time competing against each other when our whole soul purpose on this earth is to build together. Look at the pyramid, beautiful people. It will never be created if it wasn't a team that put it together.
Absolutely.
And right now, we got individuals that don't want to do their part on putting the pyramid together. You got individuals at the top, sold their soul to the devil, so they sold their soul, and they're going to give their people up to the slaughterhouse. So what we got to do as this young black men, we got to stand up against the fake gangsters. Because I'm going to tell you now, you can have all the rappers in the world. If you take them security guards away, They not talking like that, people. You want to know gangster? I'll take you to Kingston. That's gangster.
Right.
You give a man a gun and you think he's gangster? You take a gun, if they took all the guns off the planet right now, 89,000 rappers will quit. Because then they'll have to use these. Real man combat. That's what God did. When they made weapons, they created cowards. And I ain't talking about the kings that protect their family. I'm talking about the kings that shoot at people just because they're afraid of an ass whooping.
Fact.
You're afraid. You want to talk all that stuff. But when a man say, show me how tough you is, you want to pull a gun out and take a man's life. Take a father. Take a brother. Take a sister.
It's sad.
You're a coward.
And the fact that that's the world we live in right now, man, you know, you have people that don't value life. People don't have any kind of moral code or standard that they're living by nowadays. And that's why life is so short. Just last week, someone in my city, they had an argument over a drink. Person spilled a drink on them. Went out in the parking lot and shot it up. Shot the whole place up. Now, to me, that's an honest mistake. Hey, look, I spilled a drink, my bad. We can get a towel, we can clean this up. This shirt, I can buy another one. But you want to go outside and shoot the whole place up. That says a lot about the mentality that a lot of people have nowadays.
And let me tell you this. Let me tell you, and this is a sad truth. If that situation happened with a counterpart, another man, just for instance, a Caucasian man, he probably would have said, it's okay.
Right. Probably said it's okay.
He probably would have, no, he would have said, okay. So when I look at my brothers, we sick. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you got to rise above the thinkings of emotions into the thinking of God. And those men every day that spaz out that way, they have no control over their emotions. They have no God.
Right.
And a lot of people are asking themselves, what is the problem in my life? Why can't I break free of all this pain? It's because you're standing in God's way. You haven't allowed him to come into your life. You went on loving men and women more than you love God, and you went through breakup after breakup after breakup because you could never love anything more than you love God. But then you try to take it in your hands. And when you see that it doesn't work in your hands, you get tired and you want to quit. And then you want to commit suicide. But what if I told you can reverse that whole mentality if you just get out of God's way? Because whether you want to or not, he's going to force you to get out of his way. So if you don't step into the best version of yourself in this world right now, you will perish, ladies and gentlemen. Who wants to die? And the only thing that remembers you is the dirt that covers you.
Come on now.
Who wants to be remembered as that? The only one at your funeral is the dirt that covers you. Because you spent your whole life selfish, worrying about yourself and not thinking about your people. What we do on earth every single day, ladies and gentlemen, is our audition into heaven.
Absolutely.
And every day you wake up, the more wrong you do, the more bad you do, and you know you're doing wrong. Sister, we talk about it all the time. I was just speaking out in Paris, California, and a young girl came up to me and told me the story of her life. She said, I was molested for 5 years by my uncles and my cousins. And she's 15, 16 years old, and she's going blind due to an STD she never got treated for.
Mm.
And this is what God told me, King. Young women. And this also comes from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the teachings of the Nation of Islam. When you got a young lady as a daughter and she's in your home and you have men over, you make sure you buy your baby a robe. You make sure you cover your babies. You cover your bodies, ladies. I hear all this stuff they talk about. I want to be free and I want to be freedom, but you got to understand that entice pedophiles. It entices rapists because they don't walk around with the rapist sign on their hats.
That's true.
Ladies, you got to respect yourself. Do you know how beautiful it is for a man to have a woman and only he knows her true beauty? Do you know how special that is?
And we definitely have lost that in this society.
In our women, you get mad when we don't respect you. How can I respect a woman that shows her body to a man that never even cared about her, never even loved her, opens her legs to demons that can never lead her to the promised land? You would take a man that got more money and then leave the man that got God. Let me tell you something, women. You get the man with the most God, and you got the man with the most money. You got the man with the most money, you're going to meet the devil around the corner.
Come on now. Talk to him.
You see, God is a kingdom builder. And he don't skip no process. You got to go through every step he gives you because he tests us. When I was in the bottom of my career and I wasn't getting the money, I'm over 800, 400 million views on YouTube. I said, God, why am I not getting the money? Why am I not getting all this stuff? Because he said, you're not ready yet. If I give it to you now this young, you will blow it. You will hurt yourself, and better yet, you will hurt my people. So when you ain't getting it, when that money ain't coming, that's simply God saying you ain't ready yet. You got to dedicate more time to him. You got to dedicate your life to him. Everything comes after him.
That's
everything.
Deep. Absolutely.
And I'm telling you the real. This ain't just we on the TD Jakes
Come on.
Spurs. No, I'm telling you, cuz. Real one, the real one. God is the only one gonna get it done.
Absolutely.
Your friends gonna cross you because they can't take it. They can't take your life, ladies and gentlemen. And there's nothing you can do about it. You want to know how to be great? You're going to start up at the bottom of the mountain with some beautiful people, people that you love. But this is how you know if you're built for greatness. You will get halfway up that mountain. You will see people starting to get tired, climbing down the mountain. And you continue to climb, and then another friend drop off the mountain. And then you'll get all the way to the top, and it'll be a friend right next to you, and he's trying to kick your hands off the rocks. So you can die, and he can take all the work that you worked for.
Come on.
But when you get to the top and you defeat that man that's trying to knock you off that mountain, heavy is the head that wears the crown. So when you stand at that mountaintop, don't cry because them friends is not with you no more. They quit on you, cuz.
Come on.
They gave up before the game was over. They quit. They quit on you. So don't feel bad for them. Don't feel bad for them. Don't spend your money on individuals that don't appreciate you. Cut anybody off that don't appreciate you. Because if you deal with individuals that don't appreciate you, you're going to go into a deep depression. You see, there's two types of people in this world. People that's addicted to giving, people that's addicted to taking. Some people can't breathe if they can't give to their family. They don't even want to be around.
Right.
And some people can't breathe if they can't take and steal from you. If you ain't got nothing to offer, they don't want to be around.
Come on.
So you got to understand, look in your phone and tell me who is really your friend. Who checked on you today and told you that you can be the greatest? Who checked on you and told you you was beautiful? Who checked on you and told you that you got the strength to keep going? Who checked on you? You can't, if you don't got no number in that phone, you got no calls missed on that phone, then you ain't got no friends. We all want to be around people, even if they don't even like us.
That's sad, but true.
You got these television shows with people acting like they hate each other. How about a TV show when we acting like we love each other?
Come on now.
That's what we need. And all these podcasts, The Breakfast Club, all you guys, you talk about black liberation, Tom Ballou interviewed me. That man worth $400 million. But not one black major podcast reached out to me. And Tom richer than all of them.
Come on.
Because the truth is the truth. And you can't, and what God gave me, I'm going to ignite the soul of my people. I ain't no fake Malcolm X dressing and crowns and looking. I ain't none of that. I'm a real life stepper, cuz, for God.
Come on.
I don't need to look like Malcolm. It's only one King Hollis. I don't need to self-proclaim myself the king. The world gonna call him that. Because
Absolutely.
a king is not a king by what he wears. Ladies and gentlemen, a king is a king by who he is.
Absolutely.
Don't ever forget that.
And it's definitely levels to being a king and a queen. There are plenty of kings and queens that didn't live up to the name. So just being a king isn't the end of the story. That's heavy that wears the crown. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to inspire people? Are you going to motivate people? Or are you going to sit up there and be a tyrant? Are you going to sit up there and be selfish? Because just like it may sound a little cheesy, but with great power comes great responsibility, right? So at the end of the day, the more that you are elevated, the more responsibility you have.
Yes, sir.
And I found that the higher you are, God puts you on these levels because you're able to see more. He's
Yes,
able to discuss things with you that other people can't see because they're still dealing with the same problems that you once had when you were at the bottom.
yes,
A lot of people, they aren't where they need to be financially because they're struggling with the chump change they have. And so God is like, okay, you need to learn how to handle this before I can elevate you to millions. You need to understand the foundation before you can start talking about the windows.
Yes.
You have to understand the process. And like you said, you can't skip any steps because in every step, there's a lesson that needs to be learned.
Yes, sir.
When you're in school and you skip class, if you pass, that's great. But you're not going to get that same knowledge as that person that was there every single day, that showed up on time and left.
And on another note, it's a lot of people in the world right now that's chasing dreams that God never intended for them to have. And what we do as human beings, and this causes stress, we chase something and we tell ourselves that this is what God wants us to do, but God never told us that. And we go on and we chase it and we chase it, and it seems as if it keeps running away from us. Because every single one of us got something that they know they were born to do. God told you a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm talking to, that person that was told a long time ago, I need you to stop running in the wrong direction. Stop running in the wrong direction and get back on the right path. Because as long as you got that air in your body and that heart is still pumping, ladies and gentlemen, you can change your life today. Your past does not dictate your today or your future. The only thing that dictates your future is what you do every single day.
Absolutely.
To conquer what you want to be and what you want to become. So I have to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, are you living in your purpose? Because some of you, I know you want to be a famous rapper, but everybody can't rap, ladies and gentlemen. It's not good. It's okay. Let me tell you something. You're not a professional rapper unless you have a book show, paid gigs, and you're getting paid for your features. You're aspiring artists.
True.
You're an aspiring artist. And the reason why you're not making it is because you're pretending like you made it so people don't think you need their help. I gave you some gems right there.
They weren't ready for that one. Say it one more time.
The reason why you ain't getting that record deal is because you pretending like you made it. You're pretending like you made it. But we know that the record label's going to realize it. They're going to understand. You ain't make it.
Right.
But then when you get there, you're upset when they say you don't got it. Because you lied, ladies and gentlemen. You lied. You haven't made it yet.
Lying.
These rappers are paying more money to watch themselves perform than going out there grinding and putting asses in the seats and putting that work in. My big brother Waka Flocka just joined in. One of my greatest mentors right there, my brother. Shout out to Waka. And when I say these artists, King, they so full of themselves before they put in the work. How do you feel like you can act like Jay-Z and you ain't even got an album out? You ain't even sold over 800 streams. And you want to talk, but hey, so now look, when you standing on that stage and you stunting, you looking like you the man, all them A&Rs like, oh, he don't need my help. He got it. He got it already, dog. He don't need nobody help.
Come on. You got all the answers. Already. Keep doing you. You got it all. You got it all figured out.
That's exactly what they say.
You got it all figured out. Go ahead. Do you.
This is a gem.
Yeah.
But if you walk in your truth, that A&R, they might see something in you. They might see a little of themselves in you. But when you watch all those shows of the Temptations, or all those shows, you see how some of those guys came?
Yeah.
There was just young kids like, hey, I'm hungry, dog. I'm hungry. I want to chase my dreams. I want to be one of the biggest groups ever.
See, a lot of people I find out they carry themselves like they're not looking for an opportunity. Because if you're truly looking for an opportunity, you're going to put yourself in a position to say, I'm ready. See, there's a difference between being cocky and acting like you got it all figured out.
Absolutely.
Versus showing that, hey, I am ready. If I'm not there yet, teach me how. And I promise you, I will do everything in my ability to be there. But when you're not showing that you are willing to learn, you're not showing that you're willing to be a sponge and soak up the game that people have, they ain't going to want to waste their time with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, it's too many more people that would love to have the opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And right now, I tell everybody, we are in the biggest generation of I would rather look famous and rich than be it.
Right.
And that's another major reason of suicide amongst young children and teenagers in the world. That's why I'm getting ready to do something big. It's the first time I'm making an announcement. I'm getting ready to drop my audio book of the best gifts come from the bottom. I'm dropping an audio book. And the reason I'm dropping the audio book because I had an opportunity to speak down in Kingston. And one of my brothers, it was like, a lot of some kings can't read. And it literally almost made me cry. Right. Because I thought about me. I couldn't read till I was 16. Mm-hmm. And God spoke to me. He was like, Will, man, you got to record your own audio book. I was going to do the regular thing and pay somebody to do it. But I said, this is my thank you to God. This is me reading in front of God. Taking a man that couldn't read till he was 16, building him up to one of the biggest young speakers in the world. And when I read this book and I drop this audio book, pre-sales gonna be going up any day now. When I drop this book is not for me. It's for individuals walking around with stories just like mine. And I want you guys to know I am no greater than you, king or queen. I am no mythical god or person. I'm just a soldier of God. And I want to let you know that we have an everlasting potential in this world. And by telling your story, by speaking to the world, you will heal, ladies and gentlemen. The pain that you felt, once you start to see that other individuals endured some of these same pains, cried some of these same tears, took some of the same bullets of life, you will start to stop feeling sorry for yourself. Then you will start to become a warrior of God. Then he starts to equip you with armor to take you around the world, to places you've never seen, create you and turn you into ambassadors of peace in some of the most dangerous countries in the world. And the only thing I want to tell you is that if I can do this, you can too. I'm no greater than you, beautiful queen. I'm no greater than you, beautiful king. I'm no greater than any one of you guys that watch me. I don't ever want to be a celebrity, ever in my life. I want to be a soldier of God and that king that they see that built something. I ain't had no famous cousins. I ain't had no celebrities to put me on their Instagrams. I had to grind brick by brick.
Come on.
I had to grind brick by brick. Days with no meals. Days with no home. Days with no clean underwear, socks, t-shirts. Days without nothing. I had to go through all of that.
Come on.
Just to inspire the world. Just to keep another soul alive, cuz. So when I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I will never beg for support. I'ma earn it. I listened to Jim Rohn speak one time, ladies and gentlemen, and he talked about increasing your value. And when you're going out there in the world and they don't like your gift the first time, you grind and you make it better. But what you do is you go out there in the world and you increase your value. It's okay you said no. Next time I'm going to make you say yes because I'm going to increase my value. But this time I'm going to charge you double.
Come on. That's a gem right there. That's
I'm going to charge you double. Increase your value. Don't complain about the people that don't believe that you have it yet.
Come on.
The sign of greatness is an individual willing to go back into the toolbox and put the work in to make it perfect. Not okay. You want to be great? Greatness is perfect. Greatness is perfect. It's not mediocre. Greatness is perfect. That's why everybody can't be great. It's making a decision, staying focused to win. And that's what everybody doesn't share, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. Y'all, if you just tapped in, listen, you definitely will be able to get the replay of this interview right here with the great King Hollis in the building, man. Listen, I appreciate you so much for you sharing your wisdom and your knowledge with us today. We had a great conversation. I'm over here. I had to just soak a lot of it in. I'm over here listening to you like, man, you know, it's great when you can find other people that are willing to let their life experiences be a lesson for others. You know, because a lot of times we end up in situations and it's like we don't know why or we don't know how to get through it. But when you can hear somebody that you relate to and you see that person, not everyone is going to hate you. Get what I'm saying? There are a lot of haters, but there are some people looking up to you like, wow, all I needed was a little guidance, man. All I needed was somebody to just say, hey, come over here. A reminder. Exactly. To get right back on that right path. Sometimes you can be on the right path, you can be walking, but you lose focus. And you got to hit that reset button and regain focus. And when you regain that focus, you get back on that right path, on that right track.
King Legend Talk. Before we get off here, I got to tell you something. When I was in the shelter in Huntsville, Alabama, I said one day, I'll be on the billboard. And I want you to know when you sent me that picture last night, I cried, King. Because I remember telling myself in that shelter, I said, dog, one day I'll be on the billboard. And I want you to know that you made that dream. God and you made that real for me. And it's something that I'll never forget. Whether how small it is or how often you do it. It means so much to me, and I really thank God for keeping my heart pure and being able to remember the things I asked for at my lowest point in life. And I want you to know, brother, that I really pray. I really pray that God covers you, uplifts your podcast into one of the greatest the world ever seen because you deserve it. God kept you here for a reason. Almost dying, catching a cold that wouldn't break.
Come on now.
But you didn't let your spirit break, King. And when you came out of that coma, I know exactly what happened to you. God said, now you go help my people. Now you go inspire my people. Now every day you wake up, King, I know what you feel. It's an urgency to wake up and do what you're doing. You don't like sleeping because you have so much.
He ain't lying, y'all. He not lying.
You got so much to give. That time you almost was gone was almost like a lifetime. So now you wake up every day with conviction. And King, I want you to know you're in the right direction. You're going to help and save and inspire millions of people. I love you, black man. And I appreciate your existence. And I thank God that he kept you on this earth, my brother.
Hallelujah. I praise God for that, man, because definitely it could have been gone. Could have been out of here, erased. I talk to my wife all the time, and I always joke with her sometimes. I say, 3 years ago, your life could have been different. If I had not woke up and still been here today, this reality that we have going on, your situation could have been different. And she always remembers that, because I was on that ventilator for 12 days. She always remembered those 12 days, because that was the first time in a while where she wasn't with me for 12 whole days, and she had to sit there and not know. See, a lot of people, they always talk about, what I went through. But she was going through stuff too. She was going through so much in those moments that a lot of people don't understand because they can't relate to it. But one thing I will let people know is that this sense of urgency that he's talking about, it's a real thing. Purpose is a real thing. Knowing that tomorrow is not promised, it's a real thing. Because prior to that situation, I had my mind set on the mansions, the Rolls Royces. I wanted to make sure I got everything that I wanted in this life. It was all about money. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was all about what I wanted, my success, my dreams, my ambition, my. It was never about others. Always about what I wanted to do. A very selfish mindset to live by. But once I got in that hospital, and that doctor said, if you go home, you ain't gonna make it. This is the last thing we can do for you. And, I have to be honest and tell you that your chances not likely. If you're going to make a phone call, call your people. You ever get those kind of words, and you sitting there looking at your phone like, who I'm about to call? I need to make sure everyone else good. You start to think about a lot of things, and guess what's not important? Guess what's not on your priority list? It's self. You're not thinking about my future. You're not thinking about what I want to get, my car, my house. You know what you're thinking about? Living. That's it. And it don't matter how rich you are. It don't matter how famous you are. It don't matter how much money you got in your bank account. When you're in that hospital, you all got the same health plan. The same health plan.
That's so powerful and true, King. And you're such a man. I pray one day we get to speak and tell our stories on the same stage one day.
Absolutely.
It would truly be an honor, my brother. It would truly be an honor.
Yes, sir. So look, man, I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Make sure you stay focused. This is what I found about purpose. I don't know why every time I try to end this, man, I just keep going. I get a download.
Let God work. Let God
I get a
work.
download.
Let God work.
Let me tell you something about purpose, and passion. When people are passionate about things, a lot of times what you'll figure out is this. You know how people say if you're doing it for free, then that's what you're passionate about. You never work another day in your life if you love what you do every single day. Well, we all heard that before, but what you need to understand is when you're searching for your purpose, it is not about you. Your purpose is never about you. It's always about others, because the world is so much bigger than you. the problems that people have are so much bigger than you. You think you're the only one dealing with that problem, right? Wrong. Millions of people are dealing with that same problem that you are going through.
And you just brought my quote full circle. You found what you were born to do when it becomes easy to you and amazing to the world.
Come on. Become the solution to the problem. And we'll end right here with that.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, my brother, man.
It's all love. If you guys want to check me out, I'm on Amazon. It's in my book in Barnes & Noble. It's The Best Gifts Come from the Bottom. The audio book pre-sale will be going up on the link in my bio in the next 48 hours, 24 hours, ladies and gentlemen. I love you. Hey, everybody found King Legend Talk, and this is William King Hollis, and I'm on my greatest show ever with King Legend Talk, my favorite one of all time. I love
Much
you, King.
love.
It was an honor.
Blessings,
You
blessings.
be a king and a legend, boy. That's a big one, huh?
It ain't enough to just be a king.
And you got the lion in the background, boy. You's a dangerous guy, man.
You are put through the fire. The only thing that kept me going was I knew it was going to happen. I believed it was going to happen.
So I used to print out that list, and I would put my name at the top. I would white out the person on the top, and I'd put my name. And I would print out that list, and I'd keep it in my pocket for the next 4 months. Until one day, the email that I got had my name at the top.